Darren was the kind of 14-year-old who moved through the school hallways like a ghost, relaxed, hands in his pockets, and a permanent "don't bother me" expression on his face. He wasn't a troublemaker, but everyone knew the unwritten rule: don't push Darren. He was like a sleeping volcano. As long as you stayed off his bad side, he was the chillest guy in the grade. But if you crossed a line, you'd find out exactly why he was the last person you wanted as an enemy. It happened on a Tuesday behind the gym. Darren was taking the long way home when he heard the taunting. 3 boys from the varsity soccer team were circling a small, trembling girl. They were mocking her movements, laughing as she tried to use her hands to tell them to stop. She was autistic, and Darren had seen her around. She was always alone, tucked away in the library or the back of the cafeteria. "Hey, leave her the hell alone." Darren's voice sliced through the air like a cold blade. He didn't run, he just walked toward them with a heavy, deliberate stride. The bullies looked up, ready to talk back, but then they saw the look in Darren's eyes. It wasn't just anger, it was a promise of a very bad afternoon. Without a word, the trio grumbled and retreated, vanishing back toward the main building. Darren turned to the girl. She was shaking, her eyes fixed on the pavement. "You okay? I'm Darren." She looked up, her eyes wide and watery. She didn't speak. Instead, her hands moved in a fluid, rhythmic motion. Darren didn't know sign language, but he recognized the universal sign for "thank you" when she touched her chin and moved her hand toward him. She pulled a notebook from her bag and scribbled a single word in neat, looping cursive: Peach. Darren soon learned that Peach had been born without vocal cords. She lived in a world of silence, and because of that, people had always treated her like she was invisible or broken. She had never had a real friend, someone who didn't just pity her, but actually liked her. For the next 3 months, the school saw a side of Darren they didn't expect. He became Peach's shadow. If someone tried to snicker at her in the halls, Darren was there with a silent, terrifying glare that shut them down instantly. He even started learning basic ASL, so he could talk to her without the notebook. They spent their afternoons in the park, Peach signing about her favorite books and Darren listening with a level of attention he gave to no one else. One Friday evening, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange that matched Peach's name, Darren felt his heart racing. He tapped her shoulder to get her attention. "I like you, more than just a friend. I want to date you." Peach froze. Her brow furrowed, and she quickly grabbed her notebook, her pen flying across the page. The words appeared. "Why? I am shy. I am autistic. I cannot talk. Why would you want me?" Darren replied, "Peach, I don't care about the silence, I care about you. You're the smartest, kindest person I know, your personality is incredible, and honestly, I think you're the prettiest girl in this entire town. That's why." Peach stared at him for a long beat, her eyes shimmering. Slowly, she tucked a strand of hair behind her ear and gave him a smile, the first real radiant smile Darren had ever seen. The weeks following Darren's confession felt different. Darren took his commitment to Peach seriously. He stopped spending his Friday nights gaming and started spending them watching ASL tutorials on YouTube. However, not everyone was happy about their new relationship. A group of girls, led by a cheerleader named Kayla, had always enjoyed being the queens of the social hierarchy. In the locker room after PE, Kayla and her friends cornered Peach while she was changing. Kayla said, "Does he actually like you, or is he just doing some kind of charity project? You know he has to do all the talking for both of you, right? That's gotta be so exhausting." Another girl chimed in, "Maybe he's just waiting for a girl who can actually say his name." Peach emerged from the gym 10 minutes later, her eyes red and her head down. Darren felt his relaxed posture vanish instantly. He stepped directly into the path of Kayla and her group. "I'm gonna say this once. If you ever speak to her, or even look at her like that again, I will make sure your lives at this school become a misery you can't imagine. I don't care who your parents are or what team you're on. Leave her alone." He signed to Peach, his movements slow and deliberate. "Do not listen to them. You are my voice and I am yours. We are okay." Darren had faced down the school's biggest bullies without breaking a sweat, but standing on the porch of Peach's house, he felt his knees go weak. He was wearing a clean button-down shirt and held a small bouquet of daisies. Peach opened the door, her eyes lighting up. As ready as I'll ever be. So, Darren, Peach tells us you've been learning sign language. That's a lot of work for a teenage boy. It doesn't feel like work, sir. I want to know what she's thinking. She has a lot to say, even if she isn't using a voice to say it. Darren, you have to understand. Peach is vulnerable. We worry that when things get hard, when you want to go to a loud party, or when you get tired of translating, you'll just leave. And Peach doesn't deserve to be someone's phase. Peach dropped her fork. Her hands flew into the air, her movements sharp and passionate. I am not a glass doll. Darren doesn't fix me. He listens to me. He makes me feel like I am not invisible. I know I'm only 14. I know you think I'll get bored. But I've spent my whole life being chill because nothing really mattered enough to get excited about. Then I met Peach. She's the first person who made me want to be a better version of myself. I'm not here because I feel sorry for her. I'm here because I'd be an idiot to be anywhere else. She's our only girl, Darren. We've had to be her voice for a long time. It's hard to hand the microphone to someone else. You don't have to hand it over, sir. I think she's found her own. I'm just the guy standing next to her while she uses it. Darren's parents were really going all out for their anniversary, and well, they invited Darren to bring Peach along to Mexico, but, you know, Peach went pale. It just felt like it was too far. What if I get overwhelmed? What if I need my mom? I cannot call for help if something happens. I will be thousands of miles away from my safe place. Darren said, Peach, look at me. I'm not going to force you. If you stay, I stay. Mexico doesn't matter if you're miserable, but if you want to try, I have a plan. I've been researching. We're going to make a travel kit. Step 1, noise-canceling headphones. Step 2, laminated cards. Step 3, a weighted lap blanket. And then, in that quiet moment, Peach's voice echoed in his mind. I am scared. But I want to go with you. The flight was every bit the nightmare Peach had feared. Darren never slept. He just stayed awake the entire time, like a silent, steady anchor. When they finally stepped off the plane in Cancun, the humid, hibiscus-scented air hit them like a warm hug. On their final night, Peach pulled out her notebook and wrote, I was so scared to come here. The flight was the worst day of my life, but if I hadn't come, I wouldn't know that the world is this big, and I wouldn't know that I am brave enough to see it. Darren looked at her and said, You're the bravest person I know, Peach. Most people only go where they feel comfortable. You went somewhere that terrified you just to be with me. On their final night of the school year, Darren led Peach to the top of Miller's Hill. Peach wrote a single sentence in her new journal. I used to think the world was too loud for me to ever fit in. Darren's voice echoed in her thoughts. The world just needed to learn how to listen. Then, he said, I wanted to wait for the right moment. In Mexico, you told me you were brave. I want you to wear this to remind you that even when it's dark, you carry your own light. You don't need me to be your voice, Peach. You never did. You just needed someone to hear you. Later that night, Peach's hand brushed against a heavy document in her father's desk. It was an acceptance letter from the International School of the Arts, a prestigious live-in academy 3 states away. Term begins July 1st. Mandatory on-campus residency required. Peach looked at the calendar. July 1st was only 2 weeks away. She looked at the necklace Darren had given her, then back at the letter. She had a choice to make, and for the first time she had no idea how to say what needed to be said.